guys, Rae here with another renovation battle on the channel. Today we are doing a Goth Renovation challenge that was created by the lovely Havana Sims. So for her challenge, she said the Goths have lived in the same depressing house for centuries. It's time to dust off the cobwebs and give this home a fresh look. The rules are that you must keep the shape of the home, but you can add, remove, change the windows, doors, fences, gates, landscaping, staircase, and columns. We need to brighten up the home from the inside, but keep their signature red. The home must include a fireplace on the first floor, a library, and a third bedroom on the second floor. The room on the third floor can be changed to whatever you like as long as it's not a bedroom. You cannot use the following packs, so Jungle Adventure, Vampires, My First Pet Stuff, Fitness Stuff, Kids Room, and Strangerville. I have to say, not using Vampires was extremely difficult for this challenge, and the reason we couldn't use those packs was because Havana doesn't currently have them. So we will be uploading these on April 13th, and then we will be having a vote, and the link is down in the description, and that will be open until the 16th. And then the winner of that vote will be the winner of the renovation battle, and they will win bragging rights. So I do hope that you check out everyone's videos as well as vote for your favorite. I do want to go over the list of simmers, and it is a little long, and I really hope I don't mispronounce somebody's name. So first we have Havana Sims, Hiphiprenee, Kerry Plays, Jessicapie, myself, Maple Simmer, Hazy, Ashuria, I'm really sorry, I don't think I said that right, Bree Simulated, and Alleged Simmer. So we have some people from the previous renovation battle as well as some new additions. So here we are doing the foyer, and I really struggled with this room because I wanted to do more to it, but the shape was so awkward. It took me forever to come up with the floor plan as well as do the exterior of this house. I didn't record any of it. I think that in and of itself took me probably 3 hours. And then furnishing probably took another 2.5 to 3 hours. So when all said and done, it was at least 6 hours to do this renovation, which I'm a really slow builder. And I didn't even have to build a house from scratch. That's the sad part. But I did use a lot of the Get Famous items as well as vintage glamour. As I said previously, I really struggled not using the Vampires pack because everything in there is perfect gothic stuff, and I was finding myself grabbing items and then I'd have to put them back. I might have grabbed 1 or 2, but it probably would be a deco item that really wouldn't hurt my chances. I did forget to mention that Havana will be doing a tour of all of our builds on Twitch, and I do believe that is on the 16th at 2 p.m. And if you missed that, hopefully you can catch the replay. But yeah, we are working on the library right now, which was one of the requirements. And I did end up putting 3 fireplaces into this build, so I more than met the requirement that she put into place. And I used a lot of items from the writing career, like the unlock items, and then I just really wanted to make this a very old school type of library / office. I envisioned that Mortimer Goth would be spending a lot of time in here. And I also want to apologize because I do believe that this video is a little choppy, and that is because I tried using the red CC shelf that allows you to place things more easily, not realizing that you couldn't remove them and keep the items. So I did end up going back when I was done building this and removing all of those shelves so that it was a CC free build. So I decided to cut a lot of that out because it was a lot of me trying to figure out even how to use a shelf because it was the first time I ever did it. So this is a little choppier than normal. I had to cut out a lot of content, but the good news is I kept the video down to about 20 minutes, so that's pretty good, especially considering that I spent 3 hours just furnishing it, so yay me! I do believe I used a lot of the Halloween items for pictures and things, as well as city living and get together. So I think the main packs I used was City Living, Get Together, Get Famous, Vintage Glamour, the Halloween pack. I think those are the majority of the ones that I used for this build. I actually haven't even checked the listing at this point to see all the packs I used. But here we are doing this sitting room, and I did struggle with like putting the furniture in at first, so I think I spent probably a good half hour just on this room alone, and I kept trying to like play with the sofa and see how I could place it, and I think it came together in the end. I stuck with a lot of reds in the community spaces. We use the same wallpaper like throughout, with the exception of the kids' rooms. They have different wallpaper that reflects their personalities. I did not stick to the red rule when it came to their rooms because I wanted it to reflect their personality and not the personality of their parents. But we use a lot of fancy, expensive furniture. Like I think this house comes out to be a little bit less than $450K, which is a very expensive build for me. This is a very big build for me. I tend to do starter to like medium, like I very rarely go over 150K. So it took me a really long time, and there's a lot of items in this thing, and I hope that you guys like it. But I wanted to make sure that they had a lot of like sculptures and different, like, I don't want to say artifacts because that would be more of the jungle adventure items, but like a lot of pieces like this one. So this house is a lot more cluttered than I normally do. I was actually pretty proud of myself. So I'll be very curious to see what you guys think about this build. And then my idea for the kitchen was that people probably would not be entering this kitchen, and they would probably have like a butler or something. I was more thinking it was a remnant of when the house was like originally built, where there would be like servants or maids in the kitchen and the actual like homeowners wouldn't go into the kitchen. So I kept it pretty like bare and modest. I mean, there's definitely like clutter items for like food and things that you'll see in a little bit, but I didn't put like, I don't know, it's not that fancy of a kitchen in my opinion. There's definitely fancy appliances. So the idea is that you would go into the kitchen and the service staff would come out into the dining room, which is the room next to it. So that's why there's 2 doors to go into the kitchen. And they're the ornate doors from Vintage Glamour. And I did put like an espresso machine and a tea maker because I figured they would want fancy beverages. And there you can see the table that I decorated with a bunch of items that I had originally used that red shelf for. Then I had to go in and replace everything without the shelf. I don't know if that's something for me. I personally prefer builds without CC. I'm too lazy to find all the CC links and link them down in the description, and I just don't think it's, in my opinion, I don't like builds that don't list the CC that they use if you're using CC. I mean, to each their own, but I personally, if I use CC and then did a speed build, would want to share that CC, you know, with people watching my channel, and it's just not something that I feel like doing, so I just do non-CC builds. I also had a lot of like camera panning issues because I was just all over the place. But here we are going to put in a little music area because I do believe that Cassandra Goth is very gifted in music, so I wanted a place where she could practice, but also where her parents could watch her because she's like a child prodigy and they're super proud of her. So I wanted an area that had a big piano that was out in the open, that like I almost envisioned them having like dinner parties and Bella being like, Cassandra, go play like the piano so that everyone can see you because you're so amazing. And then I included the most expensive violin, which that thing's like $15,000. I couldn't even imagine spending that kind of money. But here we are doing Bella and Mortimer's room. It is extremely red. Like there's almost red on everything. So I stuck to a red, white, and black theme for their room and the communal areas. So Bella has that fancy wardrobe from Get Famous. I did use the bookshelves from Get Famous a lot throughout this build. and I decided to put a television in their room because there's no TV anywhere else, and I was gonna put one in each of the kids' rooms, and I just completely forgot. But there is no TV downstairs in the communal area. Like, I feel like they are a very intellectual family, and they're focused on like learning new skills and things, so I don't think that they would spend a lot of time like watching TV where my other Sims typically do, because it's a great way to teach them how to cook. So there is this cute little sitting area here where I kind of envision Bella and Mortimer talking at night before they go to bed, and just kind of like going over their day and talking about their kids and, you know, the plans that they have for tomorrow. And I don't know, it just seems like a nice area for them to sit and listen to music, so I kind of like it. And we're just finishing up here with a few more items, and we'll be putting in one of the fuzzy rugs from City Living, which if you've watched other speed builds of mine, you know that I am obsessed with that rug, and I use it in probably every build, or just about every build. I think I used it downstairs in the living room too. And then I used the vintage glamour rug again. I have a tendency to repeat items, but I feel like that's actually kind of natural. Like, if you buy like you see something that you like, I could see someone purchasing like the same rug like 2 times for different, like one for each room or something. So I don't think that it's weird. But I did struggle with trying to find plants that I felt Bella would like, because I feel like she would want something really like upscale looking, like that vase that I just put in there. But I couldn't really find anything that I really liked for her room. So here we are doing Cassandra's room. It is purple because I'm pretty sure, yeah, her room is purple like in the original home. So I still wanted to keep their personalities. She does get a really nice computer. So I used Get Famous and Vintage Glamour items, like a lot of them in her room. And I do believe that easel is one of the unlocked ones from the artist career. But she has a really nice wardrobe. So on top of having that wardrobe, she has the shoe shelf as well. So she's hooked up. And then I put in this little love seat here, and then I was like, oh, it'd be really cute to have like a little cushion. She could sit and like think about what she wants to put on, or like, I don't know, sit on it when she's putting on her shoes or throw her clothes on there. And then I decided to use the floor to ceiling mirrors that I think really look nice in this room and bring out the purple, especially with that like black to purple gradient wallpaper. I really like that. And then I used the wall lights that we got in the holiday patch, which actually I never really used those, so I was kind of glad to finally put them in a build, because I do think they're pretty cool. I don't like necessarily how much they drape, but I think they're a pretty nice accent to add into a room, and I would like to start using them more. And then I decided to give her just a few toys, because I feel like she's at that stage where she's a teenager, but she hasn't quite given up like her favorite toys. I don't think I got rid of my favorite stuffed animal until I was like 20. I'm not gonna lie. Actually, I still have one, but that was like the last gift that I ever got from my mom. So yeah, that one's never going away. But I had other toys. I think I was like 20 when I finally got rid of them. I'm a weirdo. So I decided to put a couple posters on her wall, because I feel like she would also be kind of like technologically inclined. I don't know if she would be like a programmer, maybe a gamer though. I could see her being a gamer and a music enthusiast. So I kind of wanted to have some more like some girly, but also some like techie teenager type posters as well. And I really liked the way that her room turned out. And I realized when I was taking screenshots that I must have run out of steam by the time I started doing Alexander's room, because he doesn't have anything on the walls. I was kind of done at this point. I was so exhausted. This was like, what, hour 5 at this point, and I was ready to be done. So I really wanted to use an item from Strangerville for his room, but I remembered that I couldn't, and it's that listening like station, because I kind of see Alexander as being in like really smart, probably into programming as well as like logic skill, maybe writing, and I could see him being really interested in the Strangerville mystery. and I could definitely see him spying on people. Like, I feel like that's something he would do. So it kind of killed me to not be able to put it in there, but when I download this for my game, like my own personal game, I'm probably going to go ahead and add that in there, because it's just a whole nother storyline that I never really thought of that I think would be really fun to play for his character. So I definitely plan on adding that. And again, I was like looking for items, and I kept gravitating towards the vampire stuff without even realizing it, and then I'm like, I can't use it. So I did settle on a Seasons lamp, and we're finishing up his room. I did decide to put in that analyzer thing, even though he can't use it right now because he's a child. If if you're playing where you're starting a brand new game, he would be a kid, but I like it. And then I decided to just put a few toys in his room because he still is a kid, and give him a little teddy bear, but I didn't have a lot of space, so I wanted to size it down. And apparently that skeleton bear does not size down well. It doesn't end up having a face. And then I was gonna put clutter, and I changed my mind because I was like, I'm just so tired. So upstairs I did put in like a little greenhouse, and I really like the rooftop and the way that it turned out. I like it a lot. I figured either they would hire a gardener or one of them would be into gardening or flower arranging. So I really just wanted to have this area up here where you could hang out, do some skill building, but also enjoy outside. And there are little cow berries there, and there actually is a cow plant in the backyard where the swimming pool is. I just realized I never took a picture of the backyard. Oh well. Yeah, so there's an actual cow plant out there. I really wanted to put the telescope in this, like, I forget what that's, the gazebo or thing, but the light was in the way, like it wasn't working with the light, and it took me forever to put that light up there, so I decided to just switch around where the hot tub was and move the telescope to where the hot tub was previously. And I really wanted to have this, like, these privacy hedges here, because I feel like if you're up if you're up on the roof using the hot tub, you don't want to worry about your like neighbors being nosy. So I do think it worked out in the end, but I really love the way that this looks up here. So we are about to come into the screenshots. I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to check out all of the other Simmers builds as well as vote, and you can check out Havana's tour on her Twitch channel, which will be linked down below. So I just want to say thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please be sure to give it a big fat thumbs up, comment, and subscribe, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye!